This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
We are back with Xander Matu. Excited to have him here as a massage therapist. He's name of the company, I should say, is Massage Therapy at Soothing Soul, and hailing from beautiful Richmond. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wonderful. Excited to have you here. We're going to talk more about all that you do and get to know you. So, first and foremost, give us a little overview of who you are.
My name is Xander Matu, like you just said. I am a licensed massage therapist and energy worker here in Richmond, Virginia. I have a private practice called Soothing Soul Massage, therapeutic services for mind, body, and soul. And that's my tagline just because I use massage to integrate more than massage, like Reiki, traumatic talk therapy, everything under that kind of wellness umbrella, shy of doctor visits, right?
Got it. Well, thank you for sharing. And we're going to dive deeper into your background. Obviously, first, I want to get to know you on a personal level before we go down the level of you here as a healer and how you got into the business. So just tell me a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, and a little bit about, how you discovered massage therapy and then energy healing and all too.
So I actually am from Columbus, Ohio. I've grown up in Ohio and lived a good chunk of my life in Ohio. I'd say I moved to Richmond, Virginia back in 2019. I'm 33 now, so that was about 27 years ago, or when I was 27, so about 6 years ago. Um, I didn't really come from much. I've had a really, I want to say, tumultuous childhood in the sense of all, but I've been in foster care, I've been adopted. I just had a lot of lots of transitions and unstable childlike scenarios that happen. Lots of people relate to that, living the traumatic childhood. In my early adulthood, like in my early 20s, I was waiting tables and working in the restaurant industry, and some of my old childhood traumas reared its ugly head in the form of addiction and substance abuse. And I was probably in that lifestyle, loving it, thinking it was my purpose in life for probably from like 2015 to 2017. And then, in the quest to heal or get out the streets or off the drugs, or I might even say in the push from spirit to pour back into my broken vessel, I stumbled upon things like Reiki. I found other energy techniques and healings like breath work, rehab. Rehab is not energy work, but it's for the mind twice. So I had to go through that process. And actually, it was my second rehab that I was in, House of Hope in Columbus, Ohio. I always remember that one because the structure of it really gave me lasting support in my recovery journey, early adulthood. But I actually got attuned to my second level of Reiki, which is weird, how that happened in a rehab. My counselor found somebody. So that was something that I started to integrate into my mental health medicine and spiritual medicine. And during that rehab, we had a massage therapist there who you could sign up for little 40-minute slots, like if it was available, and you had downtime in between group work and rehab stuff. And it just left an impact. How good it was to have healing, therapeutic touch in a non-invasive, druggy or sexual way. And then when I got out of rehab and I had a little bit of figuring out how to integrate back into society and how to hold on to some of those uh, adulting skills,
Mm-hmm.
I was really just impacted by the massage. So we all remember COVID, right?
Oh, yeah. How did that change so many of us, right?
It did. So in 2019, I had moved out here in October, right? And then COVID hits like what, March of 2020. So like really like 6 months to come to a whole new city, fresh plate, which of course the addiction was what led me out there. Or not the addiction itself, but just wanting new soil to kind of plant the new person I was cultivating, give it a chance to grow. Um, the COVID hit, and in its drama, it triggered like, oh man, I don't want to wait tables, and in my downtime, I'm still finding some ways to harm myself. So what can I do? And I tuned in and was like, well, let's find something that makes your life worth living. And I remember being impacted by massage. I was also thinking about how I could like laser in some of my more esoteric things because, to be frank, I like living a nice life and grounded work. And while I love sharing my spiritual gifts, those can be hard to pander and stay authentic to the work. So massage was just something where I can lean into that, be really good at it, and the extra stuff will layer onto it. So trauma, without going into too much craziness, trauma and the search to heal from my trauma rather than stay a victim of it led me into my career path that really has been some lasting medicine for me.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing this. I mean, there's a lot that, you've been through, I've been through, all of you out there have been through. I love that you're here, wanting, to help people and awaken them on, you say, your spiritual path and journey, right? So,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing. And I still want to hear more about all that's led up to this, with your healing and entrepreneurship and, how you, in, encompass this in your work because you really developed this to your own, how do I say, like a symbolic language and healing system, which I want to get to as well.
Yeah. You want me to kind of go into
Sure,
that?
it's up to you. I don't want to rush you. I'm just following my orders, but no, I definitely want to get to know you. And obviously, I want to make sure we cover everything that's important to you. So you tell me.
Well, uh, yeah, I guess sometimes to go back to like who I am, I bring up traumas. Like who I am is what I do now. Like I'm a healer. I do mystical work, and not mystical work where I'm just sitting in a corner meditating and being unrelatable with society, but where I try to find what I take in my own private spiritual practice and implement it into some practicality, whether that's in my practice or just in my day-to-day interactions with my friends and loved ones. Just being a constant safe space and vibrational space for people. I don't focus too much exactly on the exact details of like what led me to this point, just because everybody's got stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
my drug abuse could be your overeating, could be your sexual, whatever it is. It could
Yeah.
be something that it's just something that is hold on to your aura and has cultivated something that you needed to heal, and
Yeah.
in that path you discovered something more about yourself. So I skirt some of those details so we don't make that our story.
Yeah.
But currently, where I'm really proud of is I've cultivated blending all those different esoteric things and scientific things of the massage into this new service that I kind of, because massage is massage. I'm
Yeah.
amazing at it. I do deep tissue. I do therapeutic.
Ah, my favorite.
If you're not into the woo, you, girl, ain't nothing like getting some of those knots out. I don't want to be lotions. I can get relaxed by my loved ones. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
a good heart, right, a good therapeutic deep tissue can be hard to find. Now that I got that locked down, I noticed, especially these last few years, people come in and we have some of the same knots in our body. My high strung ladies and gentlemen, we have our really tight neck constantly, or those migraines we can't knock. They're like, I don't know what I've eaten, or it must be this hard week. Well, maybe it's a combo. Maybe it's that, or maybe you don't know how to take a deep breath, or maybe you've got this constant anxiety and you've got a control thing. Maybe there's some mismatch energy going on with your chakra systems. Let's get you the massage, but also let's take this tuning fork and some Reiki and soften our etheric field so that energy, you don't just leave feeling massaged, but you also leave vibrationally lighter than when you came in. So that's
Wow.
a therapy I've developed right now where we take Reiki tuning forks and massage all in a 90-minute period, and we just kind of blend it like a massage kitchen, and you into an experience where you're feeling aligned. So
I want to learn how to feel aligned. I wish I lived closer, but now you do the massage work obviously has to be in person, right? But the spiritual healing, you do this via online and the energy healing, correct?
actually, it's in person. So
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know if they were two separate entities in a sense, or it has to be combined in one. Perfect.
it's combined in one. Yeah, because the thing about what the massage is great. You get on the table, the experience. You're as if you're about to get a massage, right? I open up with some Reiki, just some guided light work. For those of you who don't know Reiki is, it's just a form of energy healing that's been modernized today. I like to use it as like what Jesus would say, touch and agree, or the Buddhists where they just believe in the healing touch. It's that, but for the spirit. And then tuning forks. I have weighted and non-weighted tuning forks that are aligned with each chakra system in your body.
Hmm.
And not to go into a whole download of what chakras are, but they're known, pretty known in esoteric language. But they're the energetic centers that kind of run your human experience. So if a computer has a motherboard, a video card, a memory bank, all of those different things, we also too have obviously physical centers that govern us, but also unseen energetic centers that navigate our human experience. And so the forks using sound therapy are supposed to I ring the non-weighted forks and that combs your field. If you have any emotional packages or densities out in the unseen parts of your body, but we surely know there's there. Those kind of get combed up, and then I take the weighted forks and I put them on your knots or areas I might have massaged in between the work, and it's just kind of this. You feel the vibration, you feel the peace, and it's amazing, especially with my pressure because I'd be putting you through the table. So to get some relief after some eh, is really nice.
I love
And
it. Though.
yeah, people have been having some. Yeah.
Well, who would you say
So
is your biggest inspiration in a sense and guide, can I say? Who's been the biggest guiding presence in your life, if you don't mind sharing?
So, so actually, back in 2017, remember I mentioned that as a year that was like pivotal for me shifting from I'm out here drugging and living the life and you can't tell me nothing to like, oh,
So,
okay, maybe this is not so spiritual. We need to change. Her
mm-hmm.
name is Yafa, the healer. I met her back in Columbus, Ohio. She is the co-owner of Spirit of Tefirith. I They opened up this metaphysical shop in this metaphysical program for people who were spirit, not necessarily just religious, was looking something to seek beyond just their religious mind. And so I began my program with her back in 2017, April. Funny enough, within 3 months of starting that program and getting my spiritual name, I was in rehab because she was kind of like big into like, you can't, the drugs have kind of like helped open up that part of you. But she kind of showed me that what I was experiencing wasn't just drug induced, and that real people have these gifts and navigate them in real life. And so she's she's in my life to this day in Richmond, Virginia. She actually lives about an hour from me now. We started our spiritual relationship, teacher-student relationship, back in Columbus, Ohio. So it's funny how the life moves. But she's listening now, I think, and
Oh, hi. Hello,
happy I'm doing
hello.
this.
Oh, wonderful. Well, there's a lot to the work that you're doing, and did you want to share, a little bit about, some of the things you're specifically helping people with? I would love to hear some stories, so we can kind of capture the essence of what you do.
Okay. I'm trying to think of a
You have
really
a
good
lot, I'm
one.
sure. Yeah.
I know, especially when we get into the spiritual stuff, because I find I'm always surprised. I'm big into not faking those things. No shade to anybody who's out there and they channel and they get into the different voice and they pull in these things, and that's not really my process. My process is candidness and frankness. Sometimes spirit talks through me through a joke during the session. Oh, that's the one I want to bring. So just a couple weeks ago, I had somebody do my chakra activation soul therapy. Um, I was working her throat chakra, and I had combed it with the forks and stuff. So now I was moving the energy with some massage, and for some reason, a like 1930s bottle of ketchup with just a little bit of the energy, got a smack to get the leftovers out, came to mind, and I shared it with my client, and she, I could feel her shift, and she looks up and she's like, "I'm pretty sure my grandmother's here." And that kind of gave me chills. Not, I don't really work with the dead per se. It's not really a gift I promote myself to be having. But when we're in these spaces where the Reiki, we're in this high vibrational space, things can come through. Some people connect with their loved ones from the beyond, or a guide, or whatever it is, right? And what triggered her knowing that there was another presence here that comforted her in the experience was a joke that I made. So to me, that was a spirit coming through to make that joke, to announce its presence in an uninvasive way, that, hey, I'm here in your safe hands, and you can begin to have release. So that was really, really cool. And then I'll share another story. This one is not so much with the chakra activation therapy, just more to speak on my connection with my clients and my gifts. Um, I have a client who I've been working with for years. During that time, she's been divorced, or she's gotten divorced, and I think it's been about a couple years that she sat in that divorce energy. Now, this is powerful boss. She runs her company, Meryl Streep type energy woman, right? Beautiful, mature woman. Uh, I had never said anything to her about starting to go on dates and open up again. But today I start the session, I go, "Miss Blankety Blank. So it's been a while since we've been divorced. Do we feel like it might be time to go out there again and start healing that wound?"
Sure. Yeah.
And she goes, "Spirit date tomorrow that my best friend said." It's a blind date that her best friend had set up for her the next day before. So I hadn't even know that. So that was Spirit telling me, "Okay, cool. Let's
That is
talk about this.
cool.
Let's
Oh my
get ready.
gosh.
Let's
Yeah.
just see how we're feeling." And yes, isn't that great?
It gives me
So that kind of stuff
goosebumps.
happens to me all the time.
Wow.
Um, yeah, it gives me it's very rewarding. So I lean into it. Yeah.
As you should, my goodness. And I'm
Yeah.
sure there's plenty more stories,
So
which of course I would love to hear more, but just want to make sure we are covering
I could go
everything.
on a
I'm
litany.
sure. Everyone, Xander Matu joining us here again, massage therapy at Soothing Soul Massage. And we're ecstatic he's here joining
Yes,
us from
ma'am.
Richmond, Virginia. Let's continue. We still have a good 7 minutes left. And if we can make up for time at the end that we lost, we can go for it. Xander, did I lose you?
A question?
Oh,
I'm
Xander,
sorry.
I think you froze again. I'm so sorry. Repeat what you just said.
Hello?
Hi, go ahead.
Am I here?
You are here.
Okay. Am I answering a question? You kind of got a little
Yeah,
disconnect. I'm sorry.
absolutely. No problem. And I just said that we still have some more time. What else did you want to make sure you cover for your audience today that's listening?
Um, so one thing I would also like to share, this is a little separate from the the business side of Soothing Soul. I've touched base on massage. I do deep tissue therapeutic work. I can do the relaxing, all the other jazz, but to me that's a waste of my talent. So you want to come in, you have actual pain relief, but also like you want a blend of feel good and deep tissue. So sometimes you kind of get the extremes where you don't have enough pressure, or you just relax and you're like, well, I kind of really need, my neck is still stiff. Oh, you want to say hi, baby girl? Say hi. She
Hi.
wanted to say hi.
What's the doggy's
Um,
name?
Hi, Cece.
Hi. Oh, it's so cute. My cat
Cece
jump.
is her name.
Cece, my cat jumps up sometime too. So, I'm glad you're an animal lover.
She's like, I want to be in the show. Um, and we talked that, you come in and if you connect with me, the spirit, no, Marlo, get back. You can't crawl on the table. Sorry. The spirit services are, something you can look into, but I also teach Reiki. So if you're somebody who is looking to expand a spiritual practice, I, I can help with that. If you feel called, I don't really advertise or overly promote anything but the massage. And the Spirit of Tashriach program, it started in Columbus, Ohio, and it is in transition to cultivating and rerouting and regrounding itself here in Virginia. But what that includes, it's not anything you pay for. It is just a way of life. But I take on apprentices, and what apprenticeship means is that we tune into how you can connect with your version of your higher self, right? So whatever that means, kind of like in the AA or NA rooms where they just ask you to have a higher power. We lean into that. And what does that mean to embody your higher self? Like spiritual principles, practices, meaning, okay, if you're doing rituals, are you doing them safely? Are you doing them with delight? Are you engaging in self-serving behaviors that destroy yourself and things like that? So it's a program in which we teach esoteric things, laws of the universe, astrology, numerology, Reiki, chakra. Now we have different teachers. I myself am more of and my personal time, I'd be lost in the sauce, but that's for me. What I'm going to share, I want to be safe for other people and to navigate them through their own connection to spirit, which can be hard if you don't have a guide who speaks your language, so there is that. If you want to connect with me at all, I don't have a whole bunch of different socials because I'm a person who has a lot of different things going on. So it's all me. But I'm on Instagram, Xander Matu. You can access me there, and on Facebook, it's Ajax Matu, Ajacks Matu, or you can Google me for Soothing Soul Massage. Soul, that's SOL like the sun, and you can connect with me if you're out here in Richmond.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. All right. So if you could gift the world one activation, whether it be a phrase, a symbol, a practice, what would that be and why?
Reiki. I would give Reiki to the world, because if everybody could attune to that, like it does no harm. It doesn't stop you from having the human experience, but it just takes all of those extra things to another level and makes you more connected to love and what I really think Christ consciousness is. So Reiki, want everybody to be able to do it, at least level 1.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here today. Ecstatic. We got to meet and talk more about spirit and massage therapy, which I hope we could do again soon. So thank you again for being here. And I also noticed if you go to Massage Book, right? It's massagebook.com. And you also type in your name. Is that true? The Soothing Soul Massage. Is that how we find you? We can book directly?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yep.
All
and
right.
that link to the www.massagebook.com/Soothing Soul Massage should just directly take you there.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Xander. Pleasure getting to know you today and your little baby girl. She's so cute. Enjoy. We'll talk soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.